Grand rising, God is here. So I get asked a lot, how and when did you realize you had this gift? And for me, I've told this story so many times, but I think I'm gonna go ahead and put it in video version, so that people who come across it will have the information, and the information will be out there before somebody tries to take my story and make it theirs. I'm originally from New Orleans, Louisiana. That's number one. As a spiritual life coach and practitioner, I was born and raised in the church. But being born and raised in the church, things were different with me. I was always able to see auras, but I would see it in a different way as a child. And I'm gonna explain to you what I mean. And I may have to speed this video up just so I can get it in an allotted time frame because I'm a slow talker. Like everybody knows that. One day I'm gonna be able to talk really fast like Jasmine Carter, my fellow Capricorn goddess, but nah, I ain't got it yet. Can only do it if I drink coffee. Anyways, so when I was younger, I used to see auras, but it would be in a weird way. So it was like, I would see someone and my mom would be like, are they good people? My mom wasn't really that great of a mom, but she did what she could with what she had. So I will, leave it at that. However, I will never forget my mom used to be like, tell me about their aura. And I used to be like, okay, mama. And I would close my eyes. And the way that God or a spirit, the divine, used to work with me as a child was, if you were a nasty, dirty, evil person, I saw a tarnished robe. It would look like horrible, like tarnished, dark, cut up, beat up. And I would see a tarnished crown. And it would have all missing stones. And I'll never forget this. I was probably like between the ages of 9 and 11 when this used to happen to me. So for those few years. And if you were like in the middle and your energy was a little better, you would have like a silver robe, silver crown with jewels of a certain type, like not super expensive jewels, but I guess zirconian or something like that. I don't know. But you would have jewels, okay? And then if you were like a really good person and you had a really good spirit, then you would have a gold robe with a gold crown, and adorned in almost like the jewels in the crown were like the jewels in the Ark of the Covenant of the Bible, like every one of the crystals. It's what it seemed like. I'm not sure. I don't remember. It's been years. I'm like 35 now. So, but like if certain parts of you were messed up, I would see it differently. So like I would see a tarnished robe. And if they were a bad person, but they had a good heart, then the heart would be gold or the heart would be silver, which means they've done like super bad shit, but like they had a heart of gold. And that's the way I would see it as a child. And I knew exactly what it meant. So that was the crazy thing for me. And so I would look at my mom and be like, yeah, mom, they have a tarnished robe, really thorny, ugly crown, whatever. And I'd say I'm like, they're a bad person. And I was able to do this like in an instant. So I could close my eyes and stare, at in the individual's direction. And that was the type of robe that I would see. And whatever the robe I saw, I would tell my mother, I would tell whomever. And it always worked that way for years until my gift kind of expanded. And so I'll never forget my mom. She was upset because I was like, okay, well, mom, your robe is silver, but your heart is black. And so she would always ask me what my robe looked like until, she wanted me to say her robe was gold. I'll never forget. But every time I saw her robe, I always saw her heart black. And I could never understand what that meant, but it always made me wonder about my mom. And so for, those years throughout my childhood, that was the way that God used me. And so people always ask me, how can you see the way that you do? Is it evil? Is this of God? What is this, that, and the third? And I'll never forget when a pastor came into my life and got a reading from me, and he said, you know what, spirit recognized real. And he was like, you're the real deal. He was like, and I know spirit when I see it. And I'll never forget when that pastor said that to me. I almost literally was ready to burst into tears because I remember, my childhood and having those visions. And that was the way that God used to work with me. Honestly, I wish that it was still here today. Now I see auras, like I'll see the color of a person's aura, whether it's gray, blue, orange, green, or mixed or whatever. Now I see your aura, but back in the day the robes were so cool. I kind of wish I still was able to see that way, but it'd be like upgraded, in like 3D form. Maybe their face like, half skeleton, half whatever. If they were evil, like I don't know. I just feel like it would be cool if I still had that gift but in upgraded form. But yeah, that was the way that spirit used to work with me as a child. And it didn't matter who you were. I could close my eyes immediately and see exactly what robe you wore. And it was kind of scary, to be honest with you, because I knew what it meant. I actually knew that all three of those were levels. Like tarnished was, dark and evil or whatever. A bad person. The silver was a middle ways. Like you're almost there, but you're not. You're in between. And then the gold was, you were a heart of gold, great person, whatever. I knew what those mean. No one taught me or told me at all. Like my mom wasn't even a great mom, so she spent most of her time listening to John Hagee and Joel Osteen, and would keep her headphones on listening to church, and never paid attention to me. So spirit gave me this gift, I guess, as a way to keep me grounded since I was going through so much as a child. Um, when my gift like fully expanded, I believe I was 15. I'll never forget, she sent me back to my father she called my father, who she kept from me from the ages of 6 to 12 years old. So I never knew where my father was. She kept our information hidden. So my father never knew where we lived. And I'll never forget, she finally called up someone who was connected to my father, and then, got a hold of my father so he could get me. And the only reason why she wanted my father to come get me was because she said I was a demon. Now, you've been asking me all these years to tell you what your robe looked like, but all of a sudden I'm a demon. But you don't take any care to me. You don't teach me anything. You leave me outside until midnight, 1 a.m. in the morning. While you're in there getting deed down, you know what I'm saying? I was cooking, cleaning, taking care of myself, washing, doing my own hair, cooking, cleaning. You didn't teach me anything. I had to learn on my own. So, long story short, when I got with my father, like, my gift began to change when I got back to my hometown in New Orleans, because we were in Houston at the time. And when I got down to my hometown in New Orleans, I will never forget, I started to see things differently. I would see spirits, like, I don't know, maybe New Orleans at the time wasn't the place for me because of whatever, maybe the curse that my father had on his life. But there was a lot going on in New Orleans. So when I got back to New Orleans at about the age of 12, 13, I started seeing things differently. There were spirits trying to touch me inappropriately, and I'm wide awake. I can feel these mugs and see the bed moving, and there's stuff crawling in the bed, and I'm like, huh? What? I'm for real. Like, I would feel something cold touching my skin. Crazy things used to happen when I was a kid. Like, things would try to touch me inappropriately in my sleep. Things would try to choke me in my sleep, like, for real, for real. And as a kid, I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna call on Jesus. I'm calling on Jesus, 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 Jesus. That shit didn't work. It had that one power. And you can't tell me that I didn't believe back then, because, like, I was very spiritual. I was a child. I didn't do anything like weird new age, none of that. I was born and raised in church. So here I'm calling on Jesus because I'm seeing demons, I'm seeing spirits, I'm seeing entities. I'm starting to notice stuff, and stuff was changing. And then all of a sudden, I really realized my gift was something else when, and I'm just going to fast forward because I'd have to tell you a bunch of instances that happened throughout my childhood from things that I saw and experienced. I also astral traveled when I was like 14. Seeing your body above your bed and seeing everyone else in the home, and then in the atmosphere going wherever. Scariest shit ever. Am I dead? That's all you thinking. Anyways, when I knew that my gift like really expanded, I was 15, and I saw my father pass away in a dream. And I was like, woke up crying in a cold sweat, like I was tripping the heck out, for real. And when I turned 16, it happened. And it made me remember a lot about my dreams, my childhood, the spirits, the robes. And I knew I was different, because I thought to myself, all right, God, I know you gave me the robes, you told me this, you told me that, but why you do that to me? I didn't want to know that. I didn't want to see that. And from that point, I've never been able to deny my gift. No one will ever be able to tell me, just because I love Christianity, that my gift is fueled by the devil. I don't talk to demons. I've removed demons from my home, speaking in another language. I don't know what that language was, but I don't talk to evil spirits. So you don't have to be a part of a religious belief system to have a gift. You just have to learn how to cultivate it properly, ground yourself, and know, like, why is this gift here? What am I here for? Who am I here to help with this gift? Because gifts, when you have the gift, you have the gift. There is no taking it back. There is no, don't run from it. I ran from my gift for years because I saw my dad's passing, to where I almost felt like I was the one who made it come to pass because I spoke it, right? So don't be afraid of your gift. Understand why it's there, why you're supposed to be here, and how you're supposed to help others with your gift. Because ultimately, the real reason why most of us are here is because we're here to help others. Some of us just don't know how to yet. We all have a calling. No one knows that, or knows how. So I don't know. I just wanted to tell y'all that little tidbit. It's a little bit about my life. Goddess CC, spiritual life coach and practitioner. Been through a lot, the storm and the rain, to hell and back. But I said all that to say this: for the many people who have strange ways that they see things, don't always think that you're crazy. If you ever believe that there is more on this earth than just us, then I can guarantee you that there is. And there's nothing wrong with believing that. Don't be afraid. Allow yourself to open up and allow the spirit to use you in, many ways. And you will come to find out that either you find your calling or you find your place in life. Listening to the divine energy within you, listening to your DNA. So, I just wanted to share that. And I'll share more in depth, in the future. But, yeah. So if you ever come into my lives and get a reading, know that the same gift that I used throughout my childhood, I've grown and changed and shifted, and I use my gift to help people, and that's the truth. Don't want to see anyone use